Good evening and welcome to the Dr. Hutch Show, Plan for Impact series. I'm Dr. J.O. Hutchinson Jr. and I thank you for joining us this evening on 1220 a.m. The Word.
I'm Evangelist Elaine P. Jones, co-host. Today we will be discussing the topic, Overcoming Problems in Family.
Yes, this is step 3 of our 7 steps to change your life. Last week we talked about setting a timeline to achieve things, and the week before we talked about identifying your goals. That was step 1 and 2. Today we're talking about overcoming problems in family. That is a very emotional topic for me because this topic is usually, this step is where you are dealing with the emotional pain, dealing with the scars and the different things that have happened over the past. And the reason I put family is because sometimes when you're dealing with problems, the question is usually the people that has the most influence over you, and that's right in any family.
Right.
Just giving you the definition of problems is any question or matter involving doubt or uncertainty or difficulty, and having an understanding that sometimes we have matters that we need to overcome.
Yes.
And God gives us challenges, and sometimes we have challenges. With this step, I like to always start off with a story, because this is the beginning of the progress and the application of my 7 steps to change your life. The first 2 steps is getting you to identify, to look around, to get familiar with your environment, and to see if there's opportunity for you to do things to be able to put your life together. It's basically putting all the blocks around together before you build something. And setting a timeline was more like a application of saying, okay, I'm going to do this within a certain time limit, within a certain matter of period, so that you could actually be able to accomplish some things. So in other words, building the foundation. But overcoming problems and family is putting the formula together for a solution to the issues that you're facing right now. Somebody may have had a death in their family, may have had some things that have went wrong in the past, some things that you never had an opportunity to correct. But I like to start off with a story of is a plane that was leaving from Cleveland, Ohio, going to Los Angeles, California. Everybody that was on the plane, they were happy. They were looking forward to going to a Los Angeles, a sunny and bright place, and it was snowing in Cleveland, and people were boarding the plane. They were excited about what was going on. Different people, husband and wife, they were celebrating their 50th anniversary. A young lady and a young man, they just got engaged. A lady and her children. So it's just people from all different walks of life, from different parts of all over the country. Some people were internationally. So they got on the plane and they boarded the plane, and the pilot got on the plane and said that it's going to take us about 5.5 hours to get to Los Angeles, possibly 6 hours. And so the people all got buckled in, and the plane took off on the runway. And as the plane took off on the runway, the pilot felt something wrong with the plane, but he pretty much ignored it. It wasn't anything big. So they started the movie as they got settled in the air, and all of a sudden they heard a big boom, and they looked off to the side. One of the engines had blew out, caught fire. So they shut off the engine. One of the engines, most of those planes have 4 engines, so they shut off the engine. Pilot got on and said, well, we can make it, no problem. And then all of a sudden, about 20 minutes later, another engine blew on the same side.
Wow.
So 2 of the engines had blew, And the pilot said, we're going to have to make an emergency landing. He said, I want everybody to get prepared because we're going to have to make emergency landing, and we can make it to the airport in Chicago. So as they were getting, everybody was kind of panicked, and some things that people started thinking about, things that they didn't do, should have done, and all that different stuff. And then all of a sudden they hear this big explosion, and there goes the other two engines explode on the plane. And the pilot gets on and he said, folks, I want y'all to prepare for impact and to get the seats, use it as a flotation device, and the oxygen mask drop down from the ceiling. And the people were so emotionally screaming and yelling, and it was just horrible.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, the plane broke in half as they started to descend.
Oh my.
And the plane crashed into the ocean. Some people lived, some people died. Some people were burnt beyond recognition. Some people were unconscious, in a coma. Some people lost limbs, but they survived. But a lot of people didn't make it. Folks, that's us in life. When we're facing problems, emotionally, inside, we have crashed. We have fell in the ocean of despair, depression, drug addiction, alcoholism, sexual addiction. We have found ourselves scarred by the wreckage of life. We have crashed. We have found ourselves in the ocean of despair, asking, why did it happen to me?
That's true.
Abuse, molestation, things that happened to you as a child, money problems, financially, all that had happened. But folks, I'm here to tell you today, any problem, God has a solution for you to overcome.
That's right.
And the reason I put family there is because sometimes family can be a hindrance to you becoming the person that God wants you to be. And I want you to be careful with these issues of family, because your loyalty is to Jesus first.
That's right.
And sometimes we put our family before Jesus. I used to have on my answering machine in San Diego, used to be when you called, it said Jesus first, family second, and business third. Now you have heard now it's time to hear. Now you understand what you heard. Now leave a message. That was my thing on my answering machine. And that is a thing that we have to understand. Even Jesus himself had to deal with the thing of his family.
That's true.
They were saying, what's wrong with him? His brothers and sisters, they didn't understand that it was his time. Sometimes, folks, it is your time.
That's right.
Your problems of the past or things that have happened, those uncertainties, those difficulties, the pain that you suffered from, the injuries that you have had in life, the scars. People can see those scars, but that doesn't mean that it's over. So what happens is sometimes, even with the people that crash, sometimes we have a fear of failure. We have a fear of failure, that something may happen to us. What it is, this is more of a mental state than anything. What does failure mean to you? Whatever defines failure has to be positive, because we have Christ on our side. So I always tell people failure is the back door to success. Things may not turn out the way you wanted them to, but even though you don't get the results, guess what? There is a saving God that can save you just like he saved anybody else. So I want you to understand